There are a lot of reasons that we are struggling with military recruitment these days, right? We know about problems with obesity and health and all of those other things, for sure. But here's the one that sticks out for me. 70% of Americans in 1998 said patriotism was very important to them, and that number is now 38% in the most recent Wall Street Journal NORC poll. You can't get people to put their lives on the line for a country that they don't care about.
Well, there's a couple of things going on here. One is the divide between the military world and the civilian world is at an all-time high, certainly in my lifetime. People don't understand military service. They don't know what it's like. They don't know what it's about. That's one. Number two is telling that story of public service and sacrifice. My entire life was changed for the good because of the public service and my time in the military. That doesn't mean that it wasn't very, very hard and extremely uncomfortable and that there weren't very dark days during that service. There were. But it will change your life, and you can find a higher purpose in many instances by doing that service. And then the third is, this notion of patriotism. I think the notion of patriotism can and must change, but is an important one. I've called for a new American patriotism, a patriotism that allows us to grapple with our challenges, be honest about our history, so that we can actually fully deal with the challenges that we've never dealt with that are dividing our country right now. But we can also be proud of this country, right? And understand that that more perfect union that we are always striving towards, that we never have fully achieved yet, is worth continuing to strive for. It is the striving, and that is a patriotism that's worth focusing on.
There's a catastrophization of American politics today, right? That the next election is the last election. If the bad guys win, if the other side wins, then it's all over. I hear both parties basically run down the United States frequently, right? I hear a lot of doom and gloom, a lot of naysaying, and I understand why that's good politically. But isn't there a way to get a more positive, optimistic message about the United States and the truth about our role in history?
Well, I think so. But look, let's just be honest with ourselves. We're caught up in we're kind of a selfish people. We're buried in our iPhones and our iPads, and we're getting information from all kinds of sources, and we are struggling with trying to figure out what is the truth about who we are and what we should be. And I call ourselves selfish because we spend more time on me than we do on something bigger than ourselves. And I think that's what drives me is I want to set an example that young people can believe that they can achieve their dreams, they can be successful however they define success, and at the same time be somebody that is giving back to their country with no expectation of anything in return except the great feeling it gives you as a patriotic American.
When our men and women are serving abroad and they're putting their lives on the line, when it's a politically potent issue at home, right? So your experience with and about Afghanistan, how we're talking about things at home has an effect on the people who are actually doing it, right? So if we have a crummy debate here and we say things here, that gets to people, the troops are hearing that when they're in the field, right?
There's no doubt. I mean, there's a lot of parts of this job being a member of Congress, right? We vote, we legislate, but a huge part of the job is the example that we set. We have a bully pulpit, we have a large microphone, if you will, and the culture that we've established here, for better or for worse, and the messages that we send have a tremendous impact on our allies, on our troops, both here and abroad, and that's why both Steve and I are a member of what's called the Four Country Caucus, which is the bipartisan Veterans Caucus, because there's a group of us who came in and we were fed up with the way this was going. We said this does not honor the service of our servicemen, both present and past and future. We are going to try to change the culture. We're going to have healthy debate. We're not always going to agree, but we're going to treat each other with respect, and we're going to legislate and do things. And as a result of that, over the 5 years plus of this caucus, we have passed over 90 bills into law, right? And nobody pays a lot of attention to that. It doesn't grab headlines because, right now there's this incentive for, catastrophe and extremism, but we are doing the work and we're setting an example that this is right, service matters.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.